Hi and welcome to the Bad Gyal digital podcast with me and Gardy Bandy.
Hey, it's Katouche.
And this week we have our friends and some guests on. Nicole, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. I'm Nicole. I know Gardy because we've been on like fashion promotion for forever.
Forever,
Yeah.
actually, coming to the end of it. And also Rebecca's on our course.
Hi. She's already said my name, so I'm Rebecca.
Do you guys want to plug anything? Like, tell the people about you, what you do?
Follow BOBO_OMM Instagram. Yeah.
Can you pronounce it? I've never known what it means. Well,
It doesn't mean anything.
What does it?
I think I just
Ask her how her
tapped it on.
actual surname is actually pronounced.
Win. Small
But
win.
it's spelled Nagayan.
Yeah.
So
Is it Nguy? Every Vietnamese person.
Yeah, it's like Smith.
Yeah,
It's Smith.
That's just like with mine.
Even the Vietnamese character in
What
BoJack
is it?
Horseman has that name.
Chabriella.
Oh my god, that's so true. I didn't even realise
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like so many different conversations.
I've been saying Nguy for the longest.
Until like year 9 it was like Nagayan. I'm Rebecca Nagayan. But I was like, no, what are you doing? That's not the heritage. I was like, okay.
I'm happy.
You got to pan these people. They
Yeah,
they
I
do
know.
like to
Take advantage.
mess up our names. We're all we have a group called Racially Ambiguous.
Racially ambiguous hair. The only person racially ambiguous is
And that's what makes it so funny.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
She's a ringleader.
yeah, she's a ringleader and we just follow, we're just legs, but you know, racially ambiguous. 'Cause
No, we're ethnically ambiguous.
ethnically ambiguous.
Because you can't tell what, well, black obviously, but you can't tell what country we come from. That's
And then Nicole, Nicole is white, but she's Italian.
spicy white.
She's spicy white.
White with pesto.
Saucy way.
So basically, this week we were looking. Well, the hot topic of the week was the Maya Jama situation, and we like informed you girls about what had happened with
On Twitter.
on Twitter. So the aspect we're going to take from it is: do you think that you should be held accountable for what you wrote on Twitter when you were like 15? In this particular situation, she was 18, so she was an
we're
adult.
just using it as a lead on. We're not saying for her necessarily that it applies.
Right, but for those of you that don't know what happened, could you explain?
Basically, someone found an old tweet of Maya Jama when she said something that was insensitive and offensive to dark-skinned women, and she didn't actually say it herself, but she quote tweeted it, I believe, and like agreed and wrote lol along with some other really problematic tweets. So, which have been, because she's a public figure now, people are calling into question. It doesn't kind of line up with a public image, a brand, what she promotes, and being somebody who works in like entertainment and stuff. You know, it's quite important.
I feel like it wouldn't really matter if she was a freelancer, but because she's attached to I don't really know too much about her. I don't follow her on social media, but I just know of her. I know she's Stormzy's girlfriend. According to the Daily Mail, they don't actually give her a name. She's just Stormzy's girlfriend. But which
That's
is
problematic in itself.
That's problematic in itself. But
She works for radio, no?
she worked. I believe she worked. I thought
She
she
was at
BBC. Is it BBC? What?
Yeah, she's there now, but she was at Rinse,
Okay.
and then she jumped over.
And then I know I've seen her on ITV. Like I've seen promo stuff for ITV.
I swear she did the Brit Awards or something. She's done a lot.
Yeah, no, her resume is popping. But for me, if she was freelance, I don't think like it would
Have the same impact.
It would have the same impact. I think it like obviously companies have values and you have to follow them, and that's particularly why I don't really want to work for a company, because obviously. This is me saying it now. Graduation's around the corner, so things might change. So you know, but no, that for that particular reason, because I know even when I was like looking, I was faking applying for jobs. I was like literally like, oh my goodness, life.
You guys are serious. I haven't applied for a job. People say, what are you doing after your degree? Let me finish the degree.
Let me say
Exactly.
That still hangs in the balance. Let's finish the degree, then we can discuss what comes after.
no, because I heard a comment, like I was speaking to people in my class, and then that's when I got like anxiety, like oh my goodness. But it was literally an app for an hour. But every application had like the company's values attached to it. So if I'm not going to work for a company that I'm not going to share the same values as, and then that's what makes it like the legalities. You know me. I don't know English too much, but the legal sense of things. That's when it's gonna come in and play.
Yeah, come into play. Yeah.
So I don't know if she's still been on air since. I don't know.
No, apparently she went on as normal the following day or whenever she was next on air.
Well, I think if she's that liable to a company, they're not going to do too much.
I mean, I think like she did that stuff before the contracts, so technically she's not like bound to that. That makes sense.
Bound to the contract.
So because it's outside the contract, like. So I don't know how, like.
They can really
how you can tie it in.
Because I was even thinking back to, remember back in the day, was it, what was he, Saturday night, no, Friday night with Russell and Jonathan Ross and was it Russell Brand?
Yeah.
But they were actually live on air when they did that. What did they do? I remember
they rang up what's his face, his granddaughter.
And they said that they wanted to like do sexual favours or something like that.
Yeah.
Exchange. That was a mess. I remember that day.
It was a big thing. It was like scandal everywhere.
But I guess that was live on air, and it wasn't. Okay. Because I swear the BBC issued a statement, but I've not heard any of the big companies. Not that I've actually invested too much into it, because I'm choosing to not.
Fair enough.
Invest into it. It's just been a messy week for social media. Did you see the whole thing about Radar Radio?
No.
So basically, long story short, and also it's not my story to tell, and I don't have the article in front of me, so I'm paraphrasing. That's just me covering my back. Basically, someone was sexually assaulted. Or like there was some misconduct basically in the vicinities of Radar Radio. The guy reported it. The person that did the misbehaviour to her, when instead of it was like primary school, it was handled like primary school. Like that's what I gathered from the article. They had the person in the room next to her as she recounted what had happened to her. It was just a mess, and they still like. Again, I'm paraphrasing. Please go and read the article. I believe it's by something spicy blog. Our links will be down below. Basically they just mishandled it and they carried on letting the person work there. And it was not until this Pussy Palace. You guys know about Pussy Palace?
Yeah.
They said that. It came more into light, and there was more stories that were coming out about it, and they're like, our values don't align with this Radar Radio, so we're going to withdraw from Radar. And everyone else was like followed suit. So now Radar doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
It really has been a bad week.
It's literally been such a terrible week, and it was just like stories and stories and stories. And then last night, I'm like, whoa, what is going on? Then last night,
I feel like Ngadi is like the newsreader right now.
I'm literally like the most idle person.
BBC News.
You're really Ngadi.
The only reason why I know this is because I have informers, not informers. My friends text me. So have you heard about this guy called Daniel OG? Again, I haven't read too far into it. I just like saw tweets, so I'm coming with loose information. This is Kitchen Table Talk. If you want to research, go further and research. Please do not say, hey, Ngadi Randy. No. So I saw, so she told me about this Daniel OG character, and I've never heard of his name. Like, have you guys heard of him?
No.
And apparently he's this rapper who, he's big, because I went to do a bit of investigation also on his Instagram, and he's got he's attached to fader.
Okay.
So he's big if he's music video, so he released them there. And basically this particular, from what I'm seeing of the situation, someone just posted, someone said, is this your king or something? How can he deny being an abuser when he's apologising for abuse? And it's like a whole chain of him just apologising for him just being abusive to this particular girl. Yeah, when you apologise for abusing someone but then deny it in a statement, your hero guy is Daniel OG. I don't know his music, and it literally you can just see like loads of text messages of him just being like, I'll never let
Don't read it.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not, yeah, but as you can see, you guys can see it on Twitter. It's still on there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I never made you feel anything less than an angel because of what you are. I'm sorry for putting my hands on you, so you can see it in like blood. Like that's not edited. That's not edited. So.
No.
But yeah, what do you? Sorry, that was literally like just a trash week on Twitter basically. But what my original question was, do you guys think? Let's go back to the Maya Jama situation. I was just informing you guys of how trash Twitter had just been this week. Do you think we should be laid accountable for like what we tweeted when we were 13 and 14?
Not entirely, but I think it depends on how the person responds to it being brought up. There's a way that you can highlight. I think it's better to not have skeletons in your closet.
Yeah.
So if you know you were wilding back then, and
Come forth now.
Yeah, not even in the sense that if you're given a platform and you are telling or explaining something, you can say, although I understand that prior, I held views, said things, did things that I now understand are unacceptable. But to wait for somebody to draw it out, it implies that you're not comfortable with that, and therefore you're not concerned with whether or not people know that about you, or whether or not you're willing to change. That's the impression I get.
I feel like, as I was we were talking
Depending
about,
on what it is.
depending on what it is, obviously, and also I think it depends what they said, and then it depends what they're doing nowadays. Because one of the particular people that they pulled out from Radio, and I don't know his name off my head, but again, you guys can do your research. But he had problematic tweets like 2010 wise, and he was saying like he made rape jokes, and then now he's been accused of sexual misconduct. So then it's just like, well, that's quite telling.
Yeah,
that's quite telling. Like, I think we've said it before. If someone shows you they're trash, you should take it. You should accept it. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. And for me personally, I know that we all say problematic things, you know what I mean? Like, we're human beings at the end of the day.
And we're constantly unlearning things that we've been
taught
or brought up in that aren't actually correct or like respectful of other people.
And like, I constantly ask to be taught, because I will say something and my friends will pull me up on it and be like, God, you can't say that. And be like, oh, why? Give me an explanation. Why? First tell me why I can't say it. And if I find it liable, I'm just like, yeah, no, I agree. I fucked up.
You note that going forward.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve.
But I also feel like I saw someone tweet something to this extent where they said, like we said, everybody has problematic views. Everybody's yet to unlearn certain aspects of their lived experience and other people's. But some people are enabled by power structures to have the confidence to therefore make it other people's problem that they have those views. It goes from being a private conversation or a sort of perspective to becoming, they have the power to enact. Because, for example, racism is prejudice plus power. It's not the prejudice in isolation. So some people, because the power structures, are unable to do things. So, I don't know, for example, the case of Maya Jama, if she didn't represent a sort of grouping of black women that don't experience colorism and harassment for this, they experience harassment, not colorism, for their skin tone, maybe if she didn't belong to that group, she wasn't light-skinned, maybe she wouldn't have had the confidence to do that, but she knew she could do it at the time and go unchecked because it was along the grain of society. And that's what I think. So I feel like there needs to be consequences for that sort of
What do you
way
mean
of
by
thinking.
What do you mean by consequences?
As in, it's not bad for people to draw it to your attention and tell you where you've gone wrong in that situation. And it's not enough to say that it was too long ago or young. I think it's important that we understand all the complexities that surround these things. Because then the next time someone tries to do it, they'll be aware that these are the things that you're playing into. This is what you're assisting. This is who you're hurting when you do these actions.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay. Okay, right, end the podcast. No, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I feel like, and if anything, I didn't want to delve too much into her as an individual. I just wanted to
more generally
generalize it. But if we've named her, we've spoken about her throughout. What was problematic more than anything, to be honest, like the joke was, it was a joke, and it's a comment. Like I do think we live in a very like PC society. Like the joke was unacceptable, but in comedic settings, it's just
because she re-quoted
it's because she re-quoted it. Like if you're in a stadium and you're in a comedic settings, that's a completely different situation.
Yeah, that is different.
And also like this is my problem with social media. Like you can't really read the context and things. Like if you said, I'm about to say a joke now. I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is just a joke. But it's not that. And also, again, because it was this aimed at one particular group of women, being dark-skinned women, when she apologised, she shouldn't have said all women. I think, I do understand why she tried to protect, I think it was a thing of, I'm trying to protect myself, of everything.
And it just made it sound not inauthentic, but it sounds like
insincere.
It's like a default response.
Yeah.
I think that's what comes across as so insensitive. Because the thing that she retweeted was that one group.
Yeah. So
then to just generalise it, it dismisses that group. Completely.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome to our world. But no, I think let's rise up the spirits, because I think that's quite bleak. So me and Rebecca have been banging Novelist's album. A SE gang, South London, South East. You know we do this. Sorry. I'm actually so gaslow. I love South London. Anyway, so me and Rebecca have been banging the album. I advise all of you to go and listen to it.
Trust in Gordy. Trust her.
And the album's called Novelist Guy. And Rebecca's Bad Gyal anthem of the week is the intro song. And we'll play a little bit. The instrumentals are sick. I don't know.
It's just so different, and that's why I like it. It's just completely fresh, and I like when someone takes a different turn from what they usually do.
I really like the artwork, the album as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
No, everything about it, they really tried.
It's just sick.
And I believe he got a young artist to do it. It wasn't appropriate. Obviously, it's done professionally and amazing. You know,
Are we talking about?
yeah, I know. I'm talking about the artwork.
Oh,
Package
nice.
thing.
It is
Yeah,
nice.
it's really cool.
I like the colours.
I'm so rude. I see palm trees. I'm just I was gonna ask, are those the palm trees in Peckham?
I was laughing about this the other day.
No, literally, are those the palm trees in Peckham?
Miami.
And my favourite song of the album, I got so many, because okay, yesterday's my favourite song of it. My Bad Gyal anthem was Better Ways. So it's you can hear the instrument
Oh my god, ice cream man.
yeah, I know. Everything is just childhood reminiscence.
It's like summer holidays.
And it's called Better Ways.
Hey.
No, the instrumentals are sick. You guys aren't even hearing bars because we're obviously legalese and we can't go into the songs.
If you want to hear more,
get the album. We're banging that. No, Novelist, Better Ways, and from Rebecca, Novelist Start. But yeah, do you want to explain why you like Start?
I mean, just like I said, it's a completely new turn. It's he's experimenting, he's not boxing himself. And just showing that is really cool.
Yeah, you guys heard why I like Better Ways. It's just a really good song, and there's a lot of politicalness to. You guys know I don't know English, so you guys will just take my words. Politicalness to album, and it's like easy to digest. It's not preachy. I want to listen to. Okay, this is socially conscious, but I don't want you to like jam it down my throat. Like,
Okay,
not forced upon you.
yeah,
yeah.
and that's why I like that album.
Okay.
What about you?
You do that bit. I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't know. I don't know if it's like.
no, it's fine. I'll just play it. So Nicole's Bad Gyal anthem of the week. Do you want to introduce it?
It's literally, it's David Bowie. Bowie, however you pronounce it, but it changes.
Old school anthem.
It's an old school anthem.
I was brought up on this stuff, and I've gotten quite bored of, the current music. So I tried to explore.
Why?
What else? What?
Why exactly have you got bored of current music?
It all sounds the same. A lot of it sounds the same, and I've mixed everything. I've mixed everything, but I've just been enjoying the old music at the moment. Like I've been listening to Bowie, I've been listening to Queen, just anything. My old stuff as well.
Lovely, cool.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. What's your favourite, what are you singing? What's going on? Okay, what is your favourite Queen song at the moment?
Oh, do you know what? Under Pressure, David Bowie and Queen. Come on.
Under Pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just in love with both of them. Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
It's funny because I don't know the names of these songs, but I hear something like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that song. And then you gave the name and I was like this. And then you started singing, I started pushing this.
Yeah.
When you grabbing cat. But no one knows, like, let's keep on the raps. So, okay, what's your Bad Gyal anthem of the week?
Oh, mine is, you guys are so, sound so deep. I feel like, mine is but mine is King's Dead by Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, and Future, and somebody else, if the Apple Music thing will roll. But I'll play it for you now. So, it took me ages to get around this album when the thing first came out. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like this song. And I love the movie. I enjoyed the movie. So then when I hear the song, it makes me think of the movie. Especially because it's King's Dead, and my favorite character in it was Killmonger. So it's like, when I hear, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, Frank will be Jordan at the moment. Speaking about beautiful people, oh God. This brings us to the next section.
It's a good thinking.
That was very sweet. Smooth, boy.
I just appreciate that for a second.
It was really good until we pointed it out.
Yeah.
I think it made it more special.
I think everything that's admired needs to be drawn to attention. I think it's worth saying.
So
this girl talks the truth. All the words that come out of God.
I really apologise because you gave the most fidgety person the squeaky chair.
Oh no, yeah, I could hear it.
I'm really happy you're here because now I'm not the most
squeaky
person.
No, it's calm. Post production. There won't be post production. You guys know there's no post production.
No, there isn't.
But we were basically saying Michael B. Jordan being a beautiful man. The next segment of the podcast is about being the ugly friend. And so a lot of you are going to be like, you're going to see us on YouTube and be like, well, we are filmed on YouTube, so you can go and check out this week's episode and be like, you girls are beautiful girls. Where's the ugliness? And I feel like obviously it's a feeling, and being the ugly friend is the other people that are around you that make you feel like that.
Yeah.
So
it's not even that. I think it's the behaviour of people, because that tells you more than the actual person.
Yeah.
So it's just the reaction to you that tells you.
Yeah. So it's like you don't think you're ugly, and then someone looks at you and they're like,
Yeah.
you're like,
oh.
Bitchy.
Sorry guys, definitely gonna take full credit.
No, it's fine. So for me in particular, what I've done to come back being the ugly friend is to have a banging personality.
That's the way.
And people will probably be like, I know you in real life, you fucking suck. But nah, I think my personality's bangs. Like, before anyone else, another coping mechanism that I've learned to cope with is before anyone else tells me something's wrong with me,
You telling me something.
I'll tell them myself, and then I will laugh about it. So before you can laugh about it and make me feel shitty, I'll be like, ha ha.
You can't tell me something that I don't like.
No, I already know. So yeah, no. throughout, obviously there's throughout life. Do you want to explain your situation, Kay?
As an ugly friend. So I've gone through periods of my life where I haven't really had friends. So, and I feel like attractive people always have people gravitate towards them because of people's own like, insecurities. So they always have people around them, whether or not they're happy or not, it's material, but they always have people around them. Well, so I thought, well, clearly people are gravitating towards me because I don't look good. And then I got to a point where I was like, nah, I'm flames. Everybody else is letting their ableism hold them back. And then when I did eventually get friends, I did have a situation where they tried to make me the ugly friend. And it's fascinating because, like, you know your flames. Like, do you ever look at yourself and go, I'm popping? Like you know you're the Beyonce in the friendship group.
Well, I wouldn't go, I've never felt the Beyonce. I'm not gonna, I've always played it safe and been Michelle. Like,
No. I knew I was a Don Dada. I knew I was a Don Dada, but I think in this situation, the individuals really believed that they like were superior to me just because like I'm disabled and they weren't.
Okay.
So that was
so
like, the market
you think
difference.
that's like the thing that they use against you to be the ugly friend?
Yeah, because obviously like my experience with people, my experience with the opposite sex and stuff like that is different to other people's. So they think, oh well, because we're receiving attention and she's not, clearly we must be more attractive. And I'm like, oh, if only life was so clean cut like that. It's not.
Okay.
It's not, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I just make sure I have people around me that don't hold those kind of views.
It is, yeah.
But it takes a while before you find those people.
What about you, Nicole?
Well, I've had quite a like weird sort of transition in life. Like I used to be really, really overweight, like fat, really fat, and a lot of the time I was the ugly friend. Like people would like it's gonna be really bad, but my best friend, she's like really stunning. She always has been, and I've always felt like the ugly one, and I never wanted to go out, I never wanted to leave the house or be seen with anyone. So I was just like, you know, I hate how I look, and like once I lost the weight, I just realised how much people just care about looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how their opinions.
Yeah,
just, like,
even like, you know, people think you like the attention, but literally I get looked at like I'm an object sometimes. And it's like, no, but yeah, no, it's like I get the insecurities that inside I'm still this fat girl, even if I don't look at it now. And I'll never like not be insecure about that sort of thing. And I think when you go through this, that you realise that you shouldn't judge people on their looks. And I think people only understand if they've been through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what.
No,
in a minute.
I think like that's literally I know exactly what you mean by you always feel like that person.
Yeah.
My like experience, like again I've been in there's different stages in my life, but the one that I constantly have as to remind me was I lived in Kent. I lived in Kent, and when I was in Kent, I was the only black girl in like my social situation, and it was always pointed out like I never knew I was black until people told me I was black, kind of situation.
Yeah, right.
And you could always see like how people like treated you, like in front, like even like all your like I was friends with like a beautiful set of girls, and no one would ever talk to me. Like it was so bait. Like I was always like the person that would go and like they would hand their coats to. They would hand their coats to. They would be literally like, oh, I'm the girl that's standing outside the tent when someone's getting, you know. You know, I've always been that girl.
Yeah.
Like I've always been the person that's just there. Like, oh, I'm trying to meet this boy, and God,